I stood in the center of the grand living room, the very one I had dreamed of, designed, and built with the sweat of my own labor. The polished stone beneath my feet, the custom lighting overhead, and the wide glass windows framing the skyline. All of it had once belonged to me. And now, I was surrounded by people who believed they had taken it all. Nathan, my ex-father-in-law, spoke first, voice puffed with fake authority. Time to leave, Ryan. The house, the vehicles, the company, all under Alina's name now. You've got nothing here. I didn't respond. I just stood there, silent, the weight of the envelope in my coat pocket grounding me. I met their eyes one by one. Alina, her smug grin planted like a trophy on her face, Nathan and his wife, Clara, and her brother Dylan, who looked like he just claimed a fortune he never earned. They saw what they wanted, a man stripped of everything. Defeated. Done. They had no idea. It had started about 6 months earlier, though the rot had been there long before. Subtle things, suggestions dressed as concern, advice from Alina's family about asset protection, legal safeguards. I should have listened to my gut. Instead, I smiled and played the role of the trusting husband. They hated that I had built something from scratch. No generational wealth, no legacy surname, just work, grit, and ambition. So when Nathan proposed transferring assets to Alina's name, just in case, I agreed, outwardly. Inwardly, I planned. Let them think they were winning. But I read every line of every document. I watched them. I waited. The night I discovered the affair, phone logs, suspicious transactions, a few careless texts, I didn't rage. I didn't even speak. I felt something colder than anger. Clarity. While she slept beside me that night, I stared at the ceiling and made a quiet vow. I wouldn't walk away. I'd reclaim what was mine, every last thing. Hidden within the contract, buried under jargon and legal slight, was a clause. One they hadn't noticed. One I had insisted on. If proof of infidelity surfaced, all property and ownership reverted to me. Irrevocably. They'd never read that far. So I began building my case. Quietly, patiently. Photos, bank records, time-stamped meetings, video. I even traced funds funneled from my own accounts to cover her secret vacations. I sold off hidden investments they didn't know existed, transferred assets they never realized I held. And I waited until today. You heard him, Alina said, that smirk still present. This isn't your home anymore. I slowly reached into my coat and pulled out the envelope. No rush, no drama, just calm finality. I placed it on the table like a dealer laying the last card in a game they thought they'd already won. What's this? Alina asked, flipping through the pages. Her smile faded fast. Color drained from her face. Her fingers trembled as the reality set in. Nathan grabbed the papers from her, his expression shifting from confusion to pure fury. What is this garbage? The clause, I said, my voice steady. You'd be amazed what people overlook when they're busy gloating. Dylan lunged at me in a useless show of rage, but I sidestepped easily, watching him stumble into the coffee table like the overgrown child he'd always been. Alina's voice was a whisper now. You planned this. I leaned in slightly. Of course I did. Clara gasped. There has to be a loophole. There isn't, I said sharply. You would have known that. If any of you actually read what I signed. Nathan slammed the papers down. You think this'll hold? We've got lawyers. I laughed. A dry, low sound. That's the other thing. I've already shared everything with the media. The affair, the fraud, the manipulation. By tomorrow, the whole city will know. Enjoy your reputation while you still can. Then I said what I'd come to say. You have 24 hours. I want you all out. This house, the company, every bit of it is mine again. I rebuilt it before. I'll do it again. But you came for everything, and now you walk away with nothing. Alina looked shattered, broken in the very space she once ruled. Nathan raged. Clara whimpered. Dylan sat in silence, for once, speechless. I turned for the door, pausing only for a moment. "You tried to destroy me," I said over my shoulder. "Now you get to watch as I erase you instead." And I walked out. I never looked back. Let me know if you'd like a version more tailored for a screenplay, novel, or video script.